What is up, folks? It is time for the 80s Archives with... Oh, never mind. Scratch that. It is your cult horror exploitation film. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to review the 1988 cult classic, Heathers, starring Christian Slater, Winona Ryder, and Shannon Doherty. And what is my opinion, Christian Slater's best role, a very close second to True Romance. So I'll give a good look at the front there. I love this edition. I definitely want to upgrade at some point in time. Now, it used to be back in the day, you can get the license plate edition for Heathers, and it's like a collector's edition. I'm sure the Horror Man probably has that one. So let's get into this film. This movie is absolutely fantastic. What you have here is you have a group of girls that are they're like the most popular girls in school, but they're also kind of stuck up and snobby. And basically the school bows down to them, essentially. And one of their members is Veronica Sawyer, played by Winona Ryder. And let's just say she's getting a little bit sick of the jargon. She's kind of tired of being part of a group that's very superficial and very stuck up and snobby. And it's getting her to a point where it's becoming overwhelmingly annoying. Well, along the way, there's a new kid that comes into school known as JD. JD, played by Christian Slater. He's kind of a loner, new to the school. You've seen that type that kind of doesn't give a shit. He's just there because, he's not suspended yet. That type of kid. And he's there, and they have interaction at lunch. And as they're playing pranks on people, the girls, they are bullying people. She happens to notice him, he notices her, and they start to attract to each other. So now you have Veronica and JD becoming an item, and she lets him know how superficial and how stuck up and snobby they are. He agrees, so he says, you know what, it doesn't have to be like this, let's just get rid of him. But I'm not going to tell you how they get rid of him because I don't want to spoil the film. I don't want to spoil this at all if you've never seen this, but I'm sure most of you have seen this. Now, the premise of the film is basically they are trying to deal with her not being part of this group anymore, the Heathers, but not in a way in which you would just want to turn around and say, you know what, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. A more brutal fashion and more of a dark, deep way. So the plot thickens on the film as they are trying to eradicate or separate themselves, if you will, in the film from the Heathers. At least Veronica is. She has another friend that's inside the group as well, played by Shannon Doherty, and she's also a Heather. And her primary focus also is like, maybe there is some meaning to what you're doing here. Maybe Veronica's correct. Maybe I need to leave the group as well. Heather's that fucked up. So plot thickens and things start to happen. People start to be picked off. I'm not going to say which people are picked off because there's also a lot of your stereotypical characters in the film. You've got the jocks. You've got what's considered to be the nerds. You've got the outsiders, the loners, the unwanted, the often picked on people that are part of no class in the film. And the premise of the film is just all the happenings that go on with JD and Veronica trying to find a solution to all. So let me get into my thoughts on that film because I really don't want to spoil this one too much. For all you younger kids out there that watch my channel, if you've not seen Heathers, you've got to see this. To me, this film is absolutely fantastic. Yes, I could have done it on the 80s Archives, but to me, it's more of a cult film. People absolutely love this film. It gets like a 9 9 out of 10 in every rating in IMDb. I think the average on IMDb is like 8. People absolutely love this film. Anywhere from the one-liners that you hear in the film, like, what's your damage? Lick it up, lick it up. Let me know when you've come down. All those 80s references that we all used to use back in the day, or sit and spin, those type of things were all used in the film. I love the 80s clothing, the 80s garb. You know, you had the shoulder pads for the women. So this is getting towards the tail end of the 80s, so things are starting to change slightly. Yeah, the trench coats were coming into play there, the large trench coats. I had one of those for sure. I still have it in my closet. It just has everything in it. You know, you get a great storyline. The acting was absolutely phenomenal in this film. I mean, like I said, Christian Slater and Winona Ryder absolutely killed it in this film. This is a must-watch because there's definitely violence in this film. There is your stereotypical cult situations in the film, and psychotic. There's a lot of things that are psychotic in this film, and it's also a play on suicide as well. So if you're easily offended by suicide or some of the traditions that happened back in the 70s and 80s that maybe they aren't the same today, I'm not going to mention what they are, but if you've seen the film, you probably know what I'm referring to. You may not watch this or enjoy this one, but 99% of the ratings in IMDb would say that you should definitely go check this film out, ladies and gentlemen. Today's motion picture we reviewed is Heathers. It is a must-watch. It is on your cult classic. I'm doing this today because I've got a long day ahead of me tomorrow. So, guys, I'm going to step out of here. This is Hobbs. Don't forget to show love and give a sub. Hit that notification button if you like what you see. I appreciate each and every one of you. I will be seeing you guys tonight on the midnight hour at 10. With that being said, have a good Sunday. Peace.